Hi guys, Darth Vader here. Deb. I was just taking my Darth Vader mask off because I would hate for any loud breathing to come through on this video. Little in joke there. I posted a video yesterday and there was some heavy breathing on it, of which I was aware and actually said so in the description and apologised for it, but you know, some negative Nancy's had to let me know, and let me know very unpolitely as well. But special thanks to Betty for letting me know twice. Do you know what, guys? If you've got nothing nice to say, then please don't say anything, because I don't tolerate it on my channel. But moving on, rant over. I'm going to redo another cuff bangle for you guys because people still want to know how to make them. I'm just not going to do the same one that I did yesterday. I'm just going to do a Mokume Gane one. And it just shows you that you can use any kind of veneer to make a cuff bangle. Alright, so I've got some black clay rolled out onto a number 2, and this is going to be long enough to fit round your bangle form, which I will leave a link to, but you can get them from Amazon. I've also rolled out some different colours of clay. I've got silver, I've got peacock blue, rose gold glitter, some white, and just one piece of black, and these are all rolled out onto a number 3, and they're all Premo, and I've just used my square cutter just so they're all equal sizes. And I'm just going to use some of these little cutters that I've got to push into the stack to make the pattern. But anything at all, you can use whatever you want, just make a Mokume Gane. So I'm just going to start stacking these, but I'm only using one piece of black because I don't want it to take over the whole piece. I'm just keeping, you know, that to a minimal. So I'm just going to stack, no particular order. I think I'll put that black in the middle though. Actually, I think I'll put that there, and just keep stacking. Until you've got your little block. Alright. So, I'm really hoping that I've got this breathing issue sorted. I mean, as much as I hated the complaints, because they were done so kind of unpleasantly, I did delete the video because I just don't think I could have lived with myself if I'd left it there, because in places it was pretty bad. Now, this is a new microphone and a headset, so it's taken some time for me to get used to it. My old one stopped working, but I knew exactly where to position it. I'd gotten used to it at that point. This one, I haven't got used to it yet, so I'm hoping I've got it in the right position today. But the other thing was my little fluffy muffler thing had fallen off the microphone, so it wasn't filtering out my horrendous breathing. But it makes me laugh when somebody tells me to stop breathing. It's like, really? You want me to stop breathing? Oh my gosh, you have to laugh, guys. Really. Just laugh, because I just feel like these people have got nothing better to do than complain when people go out of their way. And they don't do it to just me. I've seen it all over. There's always got to be somebody making negative comments to people that are putting out free tutorials. And these people have no clue, and they probably don't care either, how long it actually takes to put one together. Anyway, I'm ending my rant right now, and I'm moving on. Okay, so I've stacked my little squares, I've rolled them out a little bit, cut them in half and restacked. And I'm thinking I'm not going to restack again. I usually just do it 2 times. It depends what I'm making. But obviously the more you cut and restack, the more busy it's going to look. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that. And I'm rolling it out fairly thin. I don't want it to be a big chunky stack, because I'm doing one of those ones where you push the stamp in like so, and then leave it open. Don't close it back up like you would with other Mokume Gane. It's just a little bit of a different way of doing it. So I'm just taking these little plastic cutters and I'm just pushing in. And yeah, I knew that was going to happen. These little pushers tend to pull the piece back out, but that's okay. You can just shove it back in there. Just put it back in place. Yeah, so any kind of cutters you want. These push ones are pretty nice for this more open look, or you could just make your own design with a blade or whatever, but just don't squash it back together. Or if you want to, you can. It's entirely up to you. This is just the way I feel like doing it today, and just because I like the look of it. I do need a ball tool of some description. Excuse my arm reaching across. I'm just going to push a little centre in this flower like that. Let's just have a little bit more of this one just hanging off the edge. I'll do another little centre. Let's have another one of these. And yeah, why not? Let's go with this one. Might as well just push in a few more things, I think. Like I say, I'm not pushing it back together, but I am just going to give it a little roll just to make sure it is firmly in place. And I think I'm good with that. I'm just going to push a few little dots in here and there just for a little extra something. Alright, so once you've got your little Mokume Gane stack, you're just going to need to take a blade and start slicing, because we're going to lay these little pieces onto our black strip ready to go on our bangle. Ooh, yeah, I love this. Look at that. Don't you think that is so pretty? I really, really like that. So just keep taking slices. Oops. Some of them can be a little fragile. And I'm not going to cover the whole strip of black clay. I'm going to keep the pattern minimal on my bangle today. That's just the way I like it. I just like that kind of look. But you can cover the whole piece if you so wish. Oh dear. Take some more from here. Let me think, do I want any more? I'm just going to try and get this flower again. I really like that. It's so nice. And I think, let me just get this little flower, but I think that's good. So obviously I've still got all this stack left, and don't forget you can turn the pieces over to see which side you like the best, because obviously as you cut through the stack you're going to get the different colours coming through. Yeah, I think I'm good, and I've got plenty left, so I can make more stuffs out of this. So you could even just leave it as is and just get a cutter and just make a pendant or something, or you could just continue to slice, whichever you want to do. But yeah, there is quite a bit left, and I really love how that looks as well. I'm quite pleased with that. Alright, so now I've got my bits, my little pieces. I'm just going to lay them onto my black strip like this. I'm really loving these bigger flowers, they're so pretty, and I'm just placing them wherever I feel looks good, but I am going to be leaving quite a lot of black showing through just because that's what I like. That's just my preference. I'm just going to get that flower by itself and put it here, and I think I'll just get that little flower by itself and put it here. I'm sure I like that there. So if you don't like something, as long as you don't press it down too hard, you're able to peel it back off. But I wasn't keen on that, so I'm going to remove those, and I think I'm just going to add a little, yeah, I'm just going to put that there, and another little random piece up here, and I think that's all. Maybe see if I can get, I've got another little flower, I might as well use that, so I'm just going to put that there. Alright, so that's all I'm doing. That's as much as I'm using of that stack on this particular piece, just because I like the look of it. And now I'm going to take some card. Let me just move it up a little bit. I don't want to go out of view again. I don't want more complaints. Okay, so I'm just going to put that there, and I'm going to get my steel soap, and I'm going to burnish, and I'm going in circular motions over the whole piece. Just to burnish it onto that black clay, and I'm going to keep doing that until those pieces are flush with that black clay. And I know you've seen me do this before, but this tutorial is more about making a cuff bangle than it is about what kind of veneer I'm using. This is just what I've decided to use today. But people want to know how to make a cuff bangle, and they are easier than making just a regular full round bangle. So I understand why people want to know how to do it. I'm just sorry that I had to delete my video yesterday, but not to worry, here's another one. So I'm just going to keep going over this until it feels smooth to my touch, and I think we're almost there. So I think we're good. Yeah, so when you finish burnishing, oh, there's a little weird line there, unless it's a hair. I think that's a hair trapped in there. Tipsy, have you been down here again? You naughty girl. I think I've got a hair trapped in there, so I'm going to have to get that out, but I'm just going to lift it up for now. Yeah, it's a hair. I'm going to try and get that out. Yep, definitely a tipsy hair. Actually, I don't think it is. I think it's one of mine. A few weeks ago, well, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I had COVID. Well, I think I had COVID. I was never actually tested. My husband tested negative. But I've noticed since I've recovered from it, my hair's falling out. Not in great big chunks or anything, but definitely more than what I would consider normal. But yeah, that was one of my hairs. I'm just going to give this another quick rub, guys, just to make it really nice and smooth and clean. Alright, so I've got my strip, and now all you need to do is get your cuff bangle form and just place your clay over it, like so. Make sure you've cut it long enough and make sure you've cut it wide enough. And I'm really sad because this is the last of my black clay now. I'm having a hard time finding black clay, so this is all I've got left. Alright, so once you're happy that it's on there nice, I'm just making sure this is on properly. Once you've got it on there nice, just give it a quick press to make sure it's on there tight. And we can deal with these little marks in a minute. But obviously you've got a little bit, you might have a little bit of excess. Actually, it's better if you do have a little bit of excess, because then you can make a nice neat cut to trim it off. So what I like to do is just cut a little V out, so that gives you a little opening to slip your blade in, and just boop, like so, just cut round. So you get a nice neat edge. Same on the other side. I'm just going to cut a little V out of there, so I've got an opening, and I'm just cutting round again. And I don't know if you noticed, but as I cut the blades at an angle, it's not going straight across, it's kind of tilting forward a little bit, if you know what I mean. Alright, so all we've got left to tidy up now is these ends of the bangle. Like that. And this side, like so. And then when you've done that, you can just go around with your fingers and just smooth it out a little bit. Make sure it's all nice and clean looking. And smooth. I'm just going to lift this and pull it a little bit, because I cut it a little short. I find cutting the corners a little awkward, if I'm honest. Alright, so when you've done that, the other thing you can do to get it extra clean is just get a little bit of rubbing alcohol and a wet wipe, and just go over the bangle just to clean it up and get rid of any fingerprints that might be on there. Like so, and that's it. It's ready to go in the oven. So I'm going to go and bake this, guys, and when it's baked I'll be back. Righty ho, I'm back, and this has been baked and it's still on its form. I baked this for 40 minutes. I always like to bake my pieces a little bit longer than what is recommended on the package, just because I just like to do that. It's better to be safe than sorry. I want to make sure it's fully cured, particularly with it being a bangle. But all you need to do now is prise it off the form. It should be fairly easy. Okay, like so. So now you've got this piece, and you will know if something's properly baked because you can bend it like this. Obviously you're not going to be able to bend, I don't know, let's say a pendant like this, you're not going to be able to bend that because it's too thick, but this you'll know because you can bend it. If you do that and it snaps, then it's not fully cured. So it's always a good idea to check that your oven is actually reading an accurate temperature by getting a thermometer. Anyway, that's cured, and that's just the top part, but obviously it's quite thin and it's quite pitted with it being on a metal form. That's normal, don't worry. So we're just going to insert an inside piece, and I've already rolled out some black clay. I said I didn't have any, but I lied. I've actually got some of this Twinkle black clay. So it's the clay that's got the glitter in it. But that's all the black clay that I've got. So what you need to do next then is just take some, actually let me just get some black. It doesn't really matter if you use translucent or black liquid clay for this. But I'm just going to use black anyway, because I've got more of it left. I'm just going to trickle some of that on there. And then I'm just going to take my finger and spread it all over the underneath of this bangle. Make sure you take it right to the edges. Like so. Just give my hands a quick wipe. So when you've done that, oh, I've got a little bit of it on there, just wipe it off. I can see a hair again. There we go, got it. Alright, so roll out another strip like I did here, and this is rolled onto a number 3. So the top was rolled onto a number 2, and this is rolled onto a number 3. You could make it thicker if you wanted to make the bangle smaller or fit snugger. But I found that this works for my wrist. So I'm just going to take this piece and I'm just going to fold it in half. And I'm just going to drop it in there like so. And just push it on there. Make sure it's nicely stuck down. And if you've got too much clay like me, it's going to flop around everywhere. Just make sure it's nicely in place. And the good thing about liquid clay is you can slide things around. Alright, so once you've done that, obviously you need to get rid of this excess. So I'm just going to chop off one end, get rid of that, chop off the other end and get rid of that, and then just double check that it's all in place. Now again, it's better if you've got a little bit hanging over, that way you can cut a nice neat edge away. So always roll it out wider than the size of the bangle. Alright, so when you've done that, same thing as before, just get your blade and cut round. I'm actually going to try a different blade. I think this one's a little bit sharper, hopefully. Yes, Tipsy, I can hear you. So I'm going to do the sides first. Just cut round. Yes, I know. Do you want to say hi? Come on then. Come and say hi. Go and drop some more. Whoops. Say hi, everybody. Say hi. Doop, 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 doop. You want to help? Go on. She likes to make an appearance. Alright, let's get back to this. So I'm just going to cut around the edges like so. And I'm getting to the awkward bit. I always struggle with this bit, going around corners. Don't know why. I just do. Okay. I'm not picking you up again. Go away. Yes. So again, just cutting round, keeping the knife at an angle rather than going straight across, if that makes sense. It just gives it a neater finish. And then it's just a case of fiddling around with it again, just to get it nice and neat. Alright, so I think that's pretty good. Nope, there's a little bit there that needs trimming away. And I'm just going to go around with my fingers and pick out the hairs again. And you can see as you're doing it, it gets a bit bent out of shape, but don't worry, you can just put it back into shape like this and bake it. Alright, so when you've done that and you're happy, I'll probably just mess around with it for a little bit longer off camera just to make sure it's nice and neat, but you're just literally running your fingers around and getting any bits that aren't, you know, smooth. When you're happy, put it back in the oven for another, I would say 40 minutes. So I'm going to go and do that, and then this is going to get a really good sand. Alright guys, so I'll be back. Okay guys, it's finished. I baked it again for another 40 or so minutes, sanded it all over, going through all the grits. Now if you want to see how I sand my pieces, I have done a tutorial for that, so I will leave a link in the description so you can go and watch it. And then I added some Rennaisance wax and buffed it, and there's the finished piece. And it's perfectly smooth and the pattern is flush against the black clay. There's the inside. Alright, so there is a cuff bangle, take two, and I also did a pendant to go with it, and I just did the same thing. I just took some pieces from that slab and burnished it onto some black clay, baked it, sanded and buffed it. So there you go guys, hope you enjoyed it. I hope there's no heavy breathing in this one. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you later. Bye.